The only reason that people come to a spiritual path is if they don't get their answers in the outer world. The outer world confuses them, it gives them stress, it gives them suffering. Sometimes it's the outer world that shuts them down, and they're forced into a space where they're saying, what's the point of it all? What's the point of this entire life? Getting onto a spiritual path is quite different from a spiritual awakening. I just wanted to talk to you today about what it means to be spiritually awakened. What it means, what is the meaning of the word enlightenment? What do we mean when we say people are enlightened or people are not enlightened? And what is the path to all of this? We're very fortunate to be born in this era when there are a lot of people who seek answers. Now, you might not think that way if you just follow the media or you follow your social networking or you look at your phone, because they are only reporting the dark side. There are plenty of people that, like me, live under a bubble, under a rock, in their own little bubble, where they only want to see and hear good and positive and uplifting things. The path to spiritual awakening can be instantaneous. It does not mean that you need to leave your home and go and live in the mountains and give up anything and surrender everything. Not at all. You don't need to do any of that. It can happen right here, right now. Spiritual awakening is an understanding that everything is one. Everything in this world is one. If you're waiting for an experience of enlightenment, like when you feel, oh my God, this is terrific, this is great, this is wonderful, something is beautiful, I'm sinking deep, you'll have to wait for your entire life. Or when you're meditating, maybe I can stop by and, turn on a flashlight in your face, you can see the light and feel that you're enlightened. If it is an experience, that is not it. That is not it. If you're feeling something, you're feeling peaceful, you're feeling enlightened, you're feeling light, you're feeling something, that is an experience and you are very much part of this world. You have not reached that shift in consciousness. It begins with an understanding that there is no two, that there is only one. And that can be an intellectual understanding to begin with. You can start with that. That's your first step towards understanding what this complications of this world is about. What am I doing here? What is the purpose of my life? And I know many of you think, I can never reach enlightenment. I'm a housewife, or I have a family, I have a wife and children. Where can I find enlightenment? Times when we get into meditation and you have a beautiful experience, you have a wonderful feeling. And the next time you meditate, you want to get that same feeling. And you feel like, it's not happening for me. I'm not meditating now. It's not working for me. But that is not even the point of the meditation. Every time you sit down to meditate, it is a new meditation, it is a new experience, it is what you're bringing into the moment. And you can never replicate that feeling of meditation. And if it begins and ends with meditation, then your process of enlightenment has not even begun. It has not even begun. The whole point of the meditation is to make you use it. Use that peace and that calm to change your conditioning, to change the way you deal with the world, to change your reaction, to understand that what they are doing is no different from what you are doing. That you and them are all one. It is one experience. Today when I speak and you listen, it is one experience. When you have that awakening, it is really an aha moment, and from that moment on, there is no really going back. There is no going back to being less enlightened or less awakened. It is a process whereby you just stumble down that path of more, you seek out more and more knowledge, you seek out people that nourish you and that encourage you on that path. You look for the best in everybody. You cannot help yourself. It just happens on its own. And it's not that somebody teaches you the knowledge. Very often when I send out my newsletters, I get replies saying that, who told you this? Who taught you this? Who is your teacher? And I cannot sincerely say that I've learnt it from a single person, except that it all in a flash, this information is suddenly available to you. It suddenly is there. I don't know how that happens. And I'm not for one moment claiming enlightenment. I'm just claiming awakening. That I have awakened to a different reality. Not completely, because everything is a work in process. Every day, your past conditioning comes up. Every day, you have to use the knowledge to get back. And after a while, things can go on outside of you without you actually being affected by it. You can actually be part of this whole world without involving yourself in it completely. Because the enlightenment comes equally to everybody. That is an understanding that you need to get. It's like a ray of sunlight. A ray of sunlight falls on me. But it also falls on you. It falls on a flower. It falls in the forest. It falls in a dark crevice. It falls in the ocean. Does it not? It is there equally for all of us. It is in consciousness that all of our world shows itself. We do not have any consciousness in us. There is no deep seat of consciousness that when you sit and you say Om and you open your third eye and you go like 2 inches inside or 3 inches inside, there's an awakening. No. No, not at all. There is consciousness and we exist in it. It is a field. It is a field that exists. It is not that human beings have this much consciousness was put into me, this much into Juan Carlos, this much into Lata, little less into Rita, little more into Karunya. No. Equally, we experience consciousness. And the word has been, I think, misused in colloquial language to believe that you're awake. I'm conscious if I'm awake and I'm unconscious if I'm sleeping. But in Sanskrit we have another word for it. The wakened state is called jagrati. And the totally awakened state is the Brahman. Aham Brahmasmi, that means I am the consciousness that I seek. It exists in each and every one of us, flowing through us, within us, outside us. It's like asking a fish, where's the water? It is everywhere. It is just moving into another field. When you suddenly realize that it's all one, it's not them that are doing the bad things. Nobody is doing anything to you. It is just being done. And in that moment of being awakened, you can observe what's happening in your world without becoming part of it, without making statements about it, without taking a side, you can just simply observe. So before awakening, one is totally involved in the outer world because the infinite nature of consciousness is constricted in time in our material world. And the absolute openness, the spacious nature of the infinite is the space in which you live. So just because you can't see a tree in the Amazon forest, does it mean that that tree exists or it doesn't exist? It's still there, right? But in your life, you're going to be seeing only that which is in your immediate world, your limited space. Everything that you view, that you hear, that you see, that you touch is limited. It's a contraction of the outer world. And it's because when the senses get overwhelming, when you say, oh my God, what's happening today in this place? What is happening with the system here? What is happening with the politics there? What is happening with the thing? Oh my God, all that stuff gets just so much that you, instead of retreating into consciousness, you expand into it. Because consciousness is not something small hiding inside of you. It is the full expanded field that exists, that is the secret of everything. It is everything. So in order to reach that, it is an expansion that you sense. And that's some of the meditations that we do. We do that experience of expanding, right? The big mountain and the small, the feeling of contracting and expanding. So that is a practice in that. The teachings appear to be just words. They'll appear to be just words. And in a flash, you move. You say, oh my God, I understand this perfectly. There is consciousness and I am in consciousness. That understanding comes to you in a flash. After that, after you're awakened, after you're enlightened, you can live this life. You can live as that is a true yogi. What is a yogi? A person who enjoys this world unsought. Enjoys everything without hankering after it, without chasing his desires, without chasing anything. It comes. Whatever comes is accepted. No obstruction, no saying, no, I don't want this, I don't want this political system, I don't want that kind of food, I won't eat this is good, this is bad, this is black, this is white, none of that. No judgments. No judgments. And I was listening to a talk by Ram Dass yesterday, and he says, when you go to a forest and you look at all the different trees, there is such appreciation. Oh my God, this is a gnarl tree, this is a peepal tree, this is a tall tree, this is a redwood tree. Oh, so much appreciation for all the diversity. And then you come back and into contact with humans. But where does that appreciation go? It converts instantly into judgment. This is tall, this is fat, this guy's rich, this one's poor. He's better than me, I'm worse than me, that guy's a nut, this one is insane. These people are mad. So much judgment. Why? Because we see those forests, we see the beauty in nature, and love in consciousness, which is the true nature of consciousness, converts to beauty in nature. And you see that very clearly. So you're already there, you're at the threshold. Now you have to just apply it to human beings. See the beauty in everything. There are rotting trees, rotting fruit, and there are flowering trees. Some are beautiful, some are not. Isn't it? We are not all the same. And the enlightened person can look at the black or the dark person and the pure person in the same light. No difference between the two. No difference whatsoever. We are clouded in our judgment. And there is no getting rid of judging people. There is no getting rid of being judgmental when you don't even know you're being judgmental. The minute you see somebody, you've already classified them. That one is Latino, this one is black, that one is Greek, or that one is Punjabi, I am South Indian, he's Parsi. You already put them into the categories. Some we like, some we don't like. This is I like, these are silly people, these are not so silly people. You've already done that. How are you going to change your entire view of the world if you're not even aware of what is happening? You're not aware of the way your mind works. This is why we meditate. This is why we meditate. And this meditation is only the beginning. Is only the beginning. It has to be a combination of all three. You breathe, you do the pranayama, you do the meditation, and you seek the knowledge. Higher and higher and higher. You keep listening to the knowledge, more and more and more. And it gets into your body at a cellular level. And it can be recalled at any time. So, an enlightened person doesn't walk around saying, oh, I'm enlightened, I'm enlightened. In fact, they won't. It's like, the knowledge is with them. And it's like, just like if I asked you, what's your name? You're not walking around saying, my name is this, my name is this, my name. But if asked, you know it, right? That's what enlightenment is. An easy access to that knowledge when required, when needed. What's the point of patience except when things are taking a long time, when your patience is wearing thin? What's the point of good judgment when you've already lost your temper? So you've got to use the knowledge in the moment that you need it the most. Don't get carried away with the outer world. It does its own thing. These things have happened before. They will continue to happen. You don't condone what's happening, but you don't add fuel to the fire. Your peace of mind, your journey is important. If it is important to you, then you won't get pulled into this outer world. Whatever it is that pulls you, whether it's your intellect that's pulling you, whether it is your memories that's pulling you, whether it is your food habits that's pulling you, whether it is your financial situation that's pulling you. We all have something that's pulling us into our outer world, and we need to get back to the center. Some of us may be more on the path than others. It's a journey. It begins, God alone knows where, in infinity, and it moves towards infinity. And what I'm telling you, what I'm trying to explain to you is simply words. And words can only point to what I'm talking about. It's not even an experience. It is simply a different paradigm, a different level. It's like switching off, like when you're sitting here and you've gone to sleep. That's just a different level, right? To say yes to the moment. This is the only moment we have. And if you don't know what you're saying, if you're so consumed with values and opinions and judgments, then you are lost. You need to go back and start all over again. Be aware. What am I thinking? What is my emotional state? Always try to get back to the center. And that is what is going to hold you in good stead.